All right. Well, how about a New Year's resolution you cannot break? One foolproof way to keep it is to not make one at all. Our next guest believes great success is not based on goals, but rather an appreciation of ourselves. In his new book, Goal-Free Living, How to Have the Life You Want Now, author Stephen Shapiro shares his 8 secrets to a fulfilling life. And Stephen is here with us this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Pleasure to be here.
Nice to have you here on this last Friday of the year. I got to ask you, have a goal-free living. Why in the world would I get up in the morning and not have a goal? That's going to be really tough to not have something to look forward to for those people who are out there like me who always set these goals and try to accomplish them. How do you switch into a mindset of having a goal-free life?
Well, being goal-free actually means having aspirations rather than goals.
Okay.
So a goal, if you look at the history of the word goal, it actually comes from the Old English word for obstacle, barrier, or hindrance.
Oh, no.
So it's like pushing your way through. Can you imagine trying to push your way through Teddy Bruschi every single day?
Yeah.
That'd be really exhausting. Aspiration, on the other hand, comes from the same Latin word as inspire or spirit, which means to breathe life into. So the difference is a goal is somewhere to get to, and you're saying you'll be happy when you achieve that, whereas an aspiration is something that gets you excited in the moment and breathes life into what you're doing. So you can have aspirations, but they're not somewhere to get to.
Okay. Now, you have, we all look at very famous people, and we think that these are people who have obviously had high goals, high standards, and they've met those goals. But you've spoken to a lot of famous, very successful people, and you found that, for the most part, they don't really all have goals.
And I think it depends on your definition of success.
Okay.
Because you may set goals to achieve financial success, but you also find that a lot of those people aren't necessarily the happiest. So one of the studies I did show that 41% of the people out there who set goals and achieve their goals actually become disillusioned and become less satisfied. So they set another goal. So that's the 41% who achieve their goals. What about all the people who don't achieve their goals? So goals are actually a recipe for setting you up for failure and making you feel miserable and just constantly chasing them rather than being in the moment and enjoying where you are right now.
Okay, so would you say that that's the plan, the goal that you should, goal.
You're allowed to use the word.
That's what you should aspire to do, is to enjoy the moment right now. Because if you enjoy the moment right now, to me that means go and shop and spend and have fun and don't save up for that house. So what's the difference?
Again, if you look at the future as not a place to get to, but as something that gets you jazzed up in the moment, think about a vacation. If you have a vacation planned in 2 weeks' time, the vacation isn't real, hasn't happened, you get yourself excited, and you're raring to go, it changes your attitude today. But then the vacation happens, and most of the time you go on the vacation, it doesn't live up to your expectation, and then the vacation's over, and you come back to work. So you create this cycle. So really all it is creating the future as something that gets you excited. It's a game to play that gets you jazzed up. And what I've found is that the people who live aspirationally tend to be more successful because it's a game. It's fun. They're out there. They're playing. They're having a fantastic time. And it's not hard work. And it's not trying to push through, towards your goals and making it really difficult.
We took a few tips out of your book. You say, number one, use a compass, not a map. So is that your way of saying, feel free to veer off course every once in a while?
Absolutely. I don't know if you're like me. But if you take a vacation and you follow what's in the guidebook, that's okay. But when you get lost and you take one of these detours or back roads, sometimes some of the best experiences happen. So use a compass, not a map, says have a sense of direction. Don't plan out how to get there, but a sense of direction, not a destination, and then a meander with purpose. Actually allow yourself just to play and change direction as often as you need to.
Okay, and that flows into trust that you're never lost. Now, you say opportunity knocks often, but sometimes softly. What do you mean by that?
Well, we are in a society right now where I have a BlackBerry, I have an iPod. Half the time my head is buried in my computer, my ears are covered with headphones, and there are these great opportunities around us that we never see. So it's really about connecting to our environment. If we get myopically focused on our goals, we lose our peripheral vision, and all the other great opportunities that are out there get lost.
Okay.
So it is much more about looking around and sensing that there's lots of other ways that we can take our lives, things that we couldn't predict by setting goals.
Okay, you say want what you have, but that is so tough when you spend your weekend watching Cribs and you see what everyone else has and it looks so great.
It does look great. And until you actually recognize that what you have is all you need, then it gets difficult not to be goal-oriented because you're always going to be striving for more. So one of the things I do is I just keep track every morning and just say, what am I appreciative of today? And that just gets me going. It sets the stage for the day.
Okay, seek out adventure, become a people magnet, embrace your limits, and remain detached. I'm going through these because we're quickly running out of time. I want to ask you about 2 things. You say become a people magnet, but then remain detached. How do those two relate to each other?
Well, let's start with remain detached.
Okay.
Remain detached means being detached from the outcome, not the process. So what you want to do is be there and enjoying the moment, not worrying about how it turns out.
Okay.
If you're going to be hard pressure sales all the time, you're going to turn people off, whether it be in dating, whether it be in sales, or whether it be in any kind of business. So if you're really enjoying the moment, people are going to want to be around you, and that's going to make you a people magnet.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you so much. Embrace your limits. We might as well touch on that one since we have maybe 10 seconds left.
Sure.
So, embrace your limits. Explain that one.
Embrace your limits just says there's always a part of us we try to hide from others. And if we can recognize that what we think might be a weakness or something we're trying to hide can be turned into a strength, it actually becomes a source of power for us.
All right, Stephen, thank you so much. Goal-Free Living is the book, How to Have the Life You Want Now. Don't make a resolution. Don't make any goals. Live and enjoy life today. Stephen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.